Hello. I wanted to do a drawing vlog today because I'm really happy because I just finished a drawing. Oh, yeah, so I'll just put a bit of a backstory onto it. Basically, a few months ago, I came across, I was in the one of the libraries. I'm not sure which one it was, maybe Mount Waverley, and I came across this book. It's called The Simpsons Handbook: Secret Tips from the Pros, and I love The Simpsons. Like I've loved it since it came out in the 90s. Yeah, I really love it. So when I saw that book, I was like, "Ooh, I need to borrow this. I need to learn how to draw The Simpsons. That will be fun." So I borrowed it, and at the time, I happened to be messaging my friend Fiona on the phone, and I told her that I was in the library and I was learning how to draw Simpsons, and she said, "Oh, cool." And I was like, "Yeah, that's cool because when I learn how to do that, I'll be able to transform my friends into Simpsons characters. Like I thought that'd be fun. Like I could like Simpsonify my friends." And so she said, "Oh yeah, you can draw me," or something like I forgot how the conversation went, but the basic gist was like I had in my head that when I finished learning how to draw The Simpsons, I would draw a picture of Fiona as a Simpsons character. You know how would they put that lip and I don't know the way they look, the yellow and everything like that. So I finished the book, going through the book a few days ago, like on the weekend. I just did math because the book was due and I'd renewed it twice, and I wasn't sure if I'd be able to re-borrow it again, because someone else might borrow it. And so I thought I'm gonna just try to finish this thing because I don't want to half go through the book and then have to wait to get it again. Because I like to just complete things. So I just spent the whole weekend, most of the weekend, hours just sitting at the desk drawing, going through it and learning how to draw it. I'll show you like a zillion Maggies and Lisas and Homers and everything like that. It's so much. At the time, it was kind of like it was like pretty hard. Not hard, but like after you do it for a few hours, you kind of like go in daze. Like I had to take some breaks, like near the end, and just had to do something else just to, and then come back to it. It was like that kind of thing. Just like I think if you ever do anything, just the one task like, over hours, it's a bit similar. You just need a break and you need to do something else. But when I finished it, I felt really good and I felt heaps more confident drawing the Simpsons characters and stuff like that. And I was thinking, in my head, I was like, should I draw the picture of Fiona or not? But and I was like, okay, I'll just do it. So then I had to think what I would draw her with. Initially, I thought I would be drawing her a picture of her eating donuts with Homer, but then in the end, I thought this was better. Like, also one thing I want to talk about is character design. I actually probably for the first time, or maybe not since I was a kid, I actually designed a character. Basically, having gone through the Simpsons Handbook, I have basically I feel like I've got the tools to create a Simpsons character because I know the structure of how they're made, like their head, then their body, their torso, blah blah blah, balls for their bodies and stuff. And and I know what Fiona looks like, and I was just in my head trying to think of what shapes and stuff and what hairstyle to make her into a Simpsons character. And I all on this page. It's now it's got heaps of colors on it because I was on the picture I was testing out colors, but in the end I did her head first, right? I did what her face looked like, and then I decided what hair she would have. And one thing I learned from Matt Groening, who created The Simpsons, is like he always wanted each of the Simpsons characters to have like a very unique silhouette. So if you saw them in silhouette, you would know immediately who it was. So I wanted to make sure that her hair was a certain, very kind of unique. I don't know if it's unique, but it looks kind of cool. I don't know if I can zoom in. You can see it. That's her hair, and she usually actually has that hair. Like she usually has like one strand, a few strands like around behind her ear and stuff. So I did her face, and then I did her body, and then I had to think of what clothes she wears, and I was thinking in my head, oh, what does she normally wear? Like she normally wears cardigans, and I don't, yeah. And so then I thought, because she loves her dog Cookie, who's a pug, and who I've met as well, he's really cute. And so I thought it'd be cool if she was walking. I had this idea that she'd be walking Cookie, and then they're in the park, and Santa's little helper, who is Bart's dog that he loves, is there, and Bart's there. So I thought that would be actually more, I think, kind of cool. Like, and then I drew it, and then yes, I'll show you a picture. I'm so happy with it. Like, okay, so that's her. That's Cookie. Cookie. It's Santa's little helper, and that's Bart. I'm really happy with it. Like, because I'm a big fan of Simpsons, and I'm really happy how Bart turned out. I'm happy with how he looks and stuff. And then I was thinking of parks. I googled parks or Simpsons parks, and then the one came up with Jebediah Springfield, a statue of him, and it goes was it a noble spirit embiggens the smallest man, and I remember that episode. It was so classic. It was like something I remembered. So I had to put that in there. So he's in the background. So it's not just grass in the background. It's like it has like a reference as well in the background. So I'm really happy with that. Another thing I picked up, like I'm just really happy with it. Like I think that's why I'm really happy that I started about a year or year and a half ago. Just decided to get back into drawing. Like just it's really right now. I feel really good. Like if I want to draw something, I have an idea and I know kind of the steps how to go about it. Not like I can draw it, but like I kind of got the steps. Like it's kind of like cooking. Like I know kind of the basics of what it involves, kind of thing, which is kind of fun. The character design was a lot of fun, and I realized as I was drawing um, this and also coloring it in today and outlining and stuff, that it's I always try to look for something that I can do. What it is that I like to do that I just love to do, and when I find it I'm just really happy. And I've just realized drawing is one of those things. Like when I'm drawing or coloring in and stuff, it's like time doesn't matter. Like I just hours pass in it. I'm just so focused in it. I love it. Another thing I came across thought about is because I've been drawing on my iPad, really enjoying the whole process of that, but there's pros and cons to both. And I just realized that drawing on paper, it's kind of fun in a way. First of all, it's like imperfect. Like as you're doing it, like you might miss a line, or there's no undo button on on the paper, which I've got really used to on the iPad and stuff. Where if you don't like something, just undo it. Also, coloring, it's actually effort. I mean, it's cool, and but also like coloring in this grass and this sky. I mean, it took a while, wasn't? And it's like effort, and it's not perfect, but in a way I kind of like it because it's not perfect. Because like let's just say about let's have an analogy, like Star Wars, like how there's the the prequels basically, there's a lot of CG and stuff like that, whereas I mean still good movies and stuff, but just a lot of CG, and it doesn't have the same feel as the original three, which I love because they kind of like people had to make those special effects, even if it doesn't look maybe as realistic or as good as the digital one. I love it because, I don't know, somehow thought goes into it, or there's a challenge of how to make it work and stuff. And I think drawing on paper or maybe painting is the same thing, where it's good because there will probably be imperfections to, like things happen. Like when I was coloring in that thing, some of the colors blended together a little bit, or not, and also just the outline. I did a fine line in blue, and sometimes when I colored over it, it kind of blended a little bit. So just things like that, and yeah, just the effort involved in coloring in this, I think, was more because you actually have to do it. I don't know, especially big spaces. It was like coloring in like coloring in Fiona's clothes and stuff, and picking. Oh, another thing, like I'm kind of restricted in the colors when I do it on paper, like to my packet of Derwents. Like I've got a Studio Derwents or something like that. I don't know, it's 72 or something. I'm not sure how many there are, but if I need a green, there's like 4 or 5 greens to choose from, and some colors are even less, like orange maybe. So it's kind of like fun to choose which color, but you're limited, which is kind of cool. Like the Commodore 64, this computer system that I loved when I was a kid, it only had, I don't know how many colors, 16 or 256, or I don't know how many it was, but there was limited palette. But they made so many cool things, so I think it's kind of good in one way, that when you're limited and you have to make do with what you've got, it's different basically, and I quite enjoyed it. So I do like both. I do definitely want to learn how to draw digitally, because you can do really cool things with that too. I like them both, but I just coming back to drawing on paper and coloring in, I just realized the difference. Because coloring the grass on the iPad would have been really easy. Just like make the brush really big and just go. Yeah, and you'd have all the colors that you wanted, and yeah, backgrounds would probably be heaps easier on. But the thing is, yeah, it's easier, but then, I don't know, I just love it. So basically now I'm rambling because I think I've said all that I want to say. I don't know, I feel really good, like, you know, the picture doesn't have to be perfect, but I just feel good because, you know, when you make something and you put yourself into it, I spent time on this, so I feel really good. Mm, I'm happy. I'm really happy that I can draw the Simpsons characters now. I got really into it. Like I'm returning this book to the library, but I bought it on eBay as well because there was a secondhand one for like 17 bucks. I just want to have it as a reference. So now I've run out of things to say because I've said all I want to say. Basically, I'm gonna finish this video and just, yeah, that was it.